been rocking with the channel. Hit the like, subscribe. Appreciate everybody that's been rolling with us. As y'all see on the video today, man, where did it go wrong for Drake, man? That's what I'm going to cover today. I'm gonna have four examples actually of why I feel like where he made, missteps in his career that got us to this point now where his next move got to be his best move. Well, he already 0 for 2 releasing that bullcrap song. That was a parody song, still bullcrap. And, hopping on a Sexy Red joint where it was not the best move, especially coming out of what people felt like you took another loss in a rap beef, right? Wasn't two of the best moves to take. But there's four other reasons that I feel like now he took some missteps in his career. The number one reason, well, not number one, but the first reason I'm going to get to is when he decided he wanted to be the artist to drop consistently and he wanted to, diss everybody else who took their time to make music. That's where he made his first misstep. And the reason I feel like that, look, it got him to number one, right? So let's get it out the way. It got him to the best artist for 10 years, right? So it was great in that sense. But if you're going to have a long career, it does start to come with its sacrifices. If you look at his background, he's Jewish, Canadian, biracial, was on a hit TV show, grew up in the suburbs. You already are not relatable to the average hip hop fan. You also don't really have that many stories in your content to make multiple albums based off of some of the things that you went through. Meek's still making songs about all the stuff he's been through. And they're going to always be relatable to people that, have the same circumstances. But what happens is when you want to drop every couple of months, every year, you want to hop on every feature, you want to hop on every song that's available, you start to lack in content. Because now you already told us your stories. On the first 3 albums you had, they're your most introspective albums. Thank Me Later, Take Care, Nothing Was the Same. And it's not a coincidence those are your most acclaimed albums. But that's where they got the most of you. Those were fresh stories people never heard. You were talking about your family life, your upbringing, your naysayers, the doubters. You were going. A lot of the lyrics there, were home and personal to you. And I think that's why we haven't seen any reference tracks from that era. Because, clearly, to me, it looks like you were putting your pen to that. Right? But that's why we don't see anything for that. Those were your most personal lyrics. But when you start making that claim, you get a lot of music now that you have that don't have the content. And now when you get older, that's all people looking at because your audience is aging with you. They want to hear something different, or they at least want to hear about what you're going through. You got all the resources, you travel, you go everywhere, and we're not getting, and they still feel like the content is lacking or it might be repetitive, right? Because I've seen you as a fan of your music. I've seen you add and definitely sprinkle in things that you're going through. And whether it's small things or big things, just as far as like, having a kid and, going to parent teacher conferences or the way people look at you or you talking about how you don't feel like black excellence applies to you. I've seen you sprinkle those things into your lyrics, but you only sprinkle those other topics. You don't really make a song around it. Right. So when people don't really remember when you're throwing these things in there, it's easily forgotten. But when you start dissing people that take that time there, you now pigeonhole yourself where you got to keep up with the output, even when you don't got nothing to say. You forced yourself where you got to be visible because when you're not visible, you're out of sight, out of mind. Right. And people are going to be like, wait, you just dissed Kendrick and Cole, whatever, everybody else that took long. And where you at? You pigeonholed yourself now where, you got no choice but to drop music repeatedly, even though we ain't got nothing to say. So now you turn into quantity over quality. And when your peers are putting out, more quality over quantity, now you start to get the short end of the stick now where people had you number one out of the 3 or 5, whatever y'all want to call it. Now you start to fall on the back end because now you're getting judged off of different metrics. I think that was a misstep there, especially when you start dissing people that take a different approach. I think that was a misstep there, especially later on in your career. You could have switched the game plan and been somebody drop consistently, but then phased out to a more of a, spaced out approach. You didn't have to keep pressing and keep forcing the issue there. Another reason why I feel like you might have took a misstep there, you started becoming a lot more reactive. What people loved about you when you first started making music is you were you. Even though
Back when I would write and not think about how they receive it, I be trying to manifest the things I need
all the time, you still were you. And that kept a good portion of your fan base of being relatable in a sense, because you were being you, and that's something that people can relate to, right? But you started becoming a lot more reactive. I think when people started dissing you for being soft and, looking at you light skinned and just questioning your manhood, you started to get a lot more aggressive in your lyrics. And even though that's not you, you started getting a lot more aggressive. The song's a little bit more, you got lyrics like "shot 'em and they like." I mean, you just got. I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. But take it easy there, guy. But yeah, the lyrics start coming a little bit more aggressive, and that's not that. People don't know that you for being that, right? The song started to come a little same. You start becoming a little toxic with the, with the songs. You start dissing females a little bit or a certain type of female. It's fine, but that's more future wave, right? That's not your brand. So you started to become a lot more reactive, I guess, because people said you were like a simp, and it seemed like you became a lot more reactive and kind of switched. Or you might have got life experiences, and that also could be a point too as well. But I think when you made Scary Hours, it was you being reactive. And so what happened? You did some elite rapping, and then people just forgot about it. They gave you praise for the day or two, and then they forgot about it. Hip hop was crying and whining for you to drop just rapping. You did it and nobody cared. They wanted you to rap over boom bap and they just tossed it to the side. When you took the first leap in your career or your first dip into pop music, when you did Hold On, We're Going Home, hip hop was pissed. It was fire to me when I first heard it, but hip hop was pissed. But that was you being you. You took a chance, and that was one of your biggest songs. Hotline Bling. Again, one of your biggest songs. That started from you initially doing Hold On, We're Going Home. That dip that you took there allowed you to get to that point where you could start becoming, you can even make fun of yourself, dancing funny and all that. That's the brand that you create around yourself, just being yourself. But later when you got on your career, you started reacting to other things, other sounds, which is nothing wrong with that. But you dive full into it where people don't think it's authentic. It's cool to do a song here and there, be a part of the culture, but when you start going everywhere with it, you start to lose your sound or the identity that people already felt like you were lacking. You start to now, still start to represent that, right? Also, when you have the Kendrick beef, when you came out with The Heart, I'm not saying you completely got it from Twitter, but Twitter was definitely planted some of those seeds of what you should do next. And then you come out with The Heart, which is what they were saying. And then you start addressing things as people wanted you to address them. And they framed your whole direction for that track. And then it ended up with people saying they felt like you waved the white flag. Now, if you listen to the lyrics, you basically said, if you're going to stop lying, we can keep this going. But that track wasn't even a part of that wasn't going to be your key to victory. Family Matters was your key to victory. You being you, dropping hits and making it into a diss format. That's you. You don't play the Kendrick game of trying to out-rap them. That's not your game. You should have stuck with that and you would have been cool, but you were being way too reactive. Another reason I feel like, man, you being too friendly, man. Too friendly has cost you in your career. You have helped make so many careers of unknown artists, even established artists, helping them prolong their careers, giving them their first hit, their first number one. You have done a lot for hip hop. But being too friendly has cost you. Because when you got into your biggest, battle and people dancing and people calling you a pedophile, where were your friends at? Where was those people that you gave them hits to? Where was Khaled? Where was anybody? Where was Wayne? Where was anybody? Nobody was there for you. Where was Nicki? Nobody was there for you at this time. All those people that you gave, all the young boys that you gave out, everybody dancing and Not Like Us in that song. Where was those people at? Nobody was there. You formed all these fake relationships, and you were at a point where you should have known those relationships was fake. You surrounding yourself by people that, like, come on, man. You at the top of the game. People ain't being genuine when they around you. And you still repeatedly be around them. I don't know if Yachty is actually your friend or not, but the way you do get too close to people where it's in an industry where people are trying to use you, bro. Like, you supposed to keep that circle tight knit, man. Like, I think the reference tracks leak because you trust too many people. How that many people from all different aspects of music and hip hop that don't be around each other got different versions of reference tracks from you? It's like 6 or 7 that leaked. You trusting the stems or something with too many people. Somebody, man, you gotta lock the door. You gotta be like, yo, you ain't leaving till I see what's in your phone. You might treat him like a female, like, yo, what's in your phone? Like, I gotta make sure you ain't take no pictures and nothing. That's what you gotta do at this point. Well, the damage already done at this point, but you had to do something, bro. Like, you just saying, yeah, man, it's cool, man. Go send me the verse, man. Do what you gotta do. And then you come back the verse on the internet. Like that machine that you got, that OVO machine. Y'all being a little bit too frugal with some valuable information. I don't know what your password is. Is it your first name, your last name, your mom name, your son name? It gotta be the easiest shit in the world because everybody can guess it. I guess at this point, I probably could find your itinerary for tomorrow if I look. I probably could Google it. Like, yo, what Drake gonna do tomorrow from 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. And I probably could find it. Location, what you gonna eat, everything. Ain't nothing secretive that comes out of that operation. Now, another thing I'm gonna listen to as well, and the last thing I'm gonna say is, bro, you turned your back on a core part of your demo. Black women, bro, they was your demo. Well, you made Nice for what in 2018? Who did you have highlighting that video? Black women. You had Issa Rae. You had so many different black women highlighted in that video. It was amazing for your brand. Amazing. And then you double back and undo all of it by aligning yourself. You started aligning yourself with Tory Lanez, regardless if you think he was guilty or not guilty. We know what the court said, but you could still have your own personal opinion on it. You still aligned yourself there and died on that sword, which destroyed your public image, at least with them. They were your biggest supporters. When people was dissing you and saying things about you, they was the ones standing up for you, bro. The men did a little bit, but the black one was there for you, bro. They coddled you. And then you just completely just got out. You started dissing people that they look up to. Meg, Rihanna, bro, you don't ever diss the Navy, bro. You know they don't ever diss the Navy. If you want to keep saying, I don't think you big enough to withstand that and not see no result anywhere. If you're gonna go into and then you diss Serena husband, and again, bro, like they got a representation of their marriage that you don't got, so people can relate to them. You know what I'm saying? So you got to a point where you enter a battle with somebody who has a good rapport with everybody. He makes sure that he massaged the relationships with the hip hop platforms. He hasn't disrespected any woman. He hasn't done nothing. And you enter a battle like that, which is going to be judged by public opinion, and you didn't make sure the public rock with you. That's a big mistake. The last hip hop platform that you touched was 2018. They already was mad at you when you did the Bobby interview. You already seen the pulse of what they were feeling, and that you ain't really respect the culture. And you felt like you was big enough that you ain't had to worry about it. But it came back to haunt you. Because when that battle came, nobody gave you the benefit of the doubt. At least none of them. People that shift the battle, got followers. They all had narratives to push. And they pushed them. Peter Rosenberg admitted. He was like, look, I got more relationship with Kendrick, so I rock with him. Like, a lot of that was going on. You alienated people and then jumped into a battle with somebody who has all the support. Not smart. No, it's not smart. What you should have did is grow your relationships with the people in your label. Those other collaborators that's outside your label, you shouldn't have ever went that route. Or you should have started inside, then went outside as far as collaborations go. Because those people that's in your label, they got just as much to lose as you. You the cash cow to hold the label up. Without you, it ain't no label. So the odds of them turning their back on you is pretty low. And you got a talented group there. You got Majid, Jordan, Division, Party. Like, you got a talented group there. Instead of just y'all collaborating on songs that you just use, you should have been having collab albums with them, and you should have been doing that. That should have been your formula, not reaching out to people that you don't know from a can of paint, who can't relate to you, man. They around you because of who you are. And those mistakes, man, got you at a point now where nobody know what you're going to do. Your image has been impacted severely. You're going to still drop hits. You're still going to stream more than anybody. But where your legacy stands on, where you're looked at in history, I think it took a big hit. But this is what I think, man. Let me know what y'all agree. Do y'all agree with some of these examples that I'm putting out here? Like and subscribe to the channel. This is Through the Scope. Peace.